Hello everyone and welcome back to Paddock Chats with RS. The 2024 season has been extremely interesting so far, but that's not what we're going to talk about today. There is perhaps a new legend in the sport, Max Verstappen. We've seen Ayrton Senna, Michael Schumacher, Lewis Hamilton. And now will Max Verstappen put his name on this esteemed list? Let's see why and how. What makes a driver a legend? A legend is essentially a game changer, someone who takes the sport to the next level, or someone who helps grow a team or helps put a team on the map by their own achievements. But more importantly, a legend is a driver who wins races and championships from the most difficult circumstances. Some examples of legends that we have seen throughout the years: in the 50s and the 60s, we saw Juan Manuel Fangio, Jack Brabham, Jim Clark, Jackie Stewart. In the 70s to the 90s, we saw Alain Prost, Niki Lauda, Ayrton Senna, and Michael Schumacher, who obviously continued his reign through to the 2000s as well. And then in the 2000s, we saw Sebastian Vettel, who helped build Red Bull as a team and put them on the map to win championships. He himself won 4 championships with them. And then we have Lewis Hamilton, who is still racing, of course, and equaled Michael Schumacher's record of 7 World Championship wins. Now, looking at all of these drivers, there is a trend that Max Verstappen does exhibit these attributes to become a legend. So let's look at Max Verstappen's season so far. Now, the 3-time world champion has had a dominating streak over the last 3 years, but this season has been a bit of a rocky road for him. He has 8 wins to his name this season, and from round 12 onwards, it started to get a bit challenging for Max Verstappen because Red Bull has been having balance issues, according to team principal Christian Horner. Now, the race which changed everything for Max Verstappen was the Brazilian Grand Prix, where he moved from 17th position to win the race. What made the Brazilian Grand Prix such a critically acclaimed race? Now, the Brazilian Grand Prix was a wet race completely, which means that it was raining throughout. The race was cut down from 71 laps to 69 laps. Max Verstappen originally qualified P12 and then was given a 5-place grid penalty and started P17 because of a power unit change. Now, he started from P17 and then went on to win the race. So here are a few commendable things he did throughout the race. He found his own racing line. So he found the outside line, which seemed pretty impossible to do because of the tough wet conditions. But he was somehow able to get grip in this outside line. So he used this invisible line and his late braking skills to gain 17 positions in the race. He also gained around 7 positions just in the first lap of the race, which means that he had immense composure and patience throughout this entire race to move up so many positions. Another thing that just shows Max Verstappen's talent in this race especially was the fact that he relies on his instinct and he listens to his car a lot. So a lot of the drivers who were unsuccessful in this race especially were drivers who take more of a reactive approach to racing. But Max Verstappen used his instincts, as he has been since day one, since he was a child in go-karting. He used his instincts and really listened to his car, which helped him win this race. But what made victory so sweet for Max Verstappen was the fact that this ended his 10 winless race streak. Now, Verstappen has been in a very challenging environment this year because Red Bull's car has not been performing as they had hoped, since they've been having a few balance issues with their car. And also, Verstappen's teammate Sergio Perez hasn't been performing as well as they hoped either. So this means that Verstappen has essentially been Red Bull's savior this season. He's also been tasked with penalties and community service for using profanity in an interview. But despite all these odds, Verstappen rose like a phoenix from ashes and won one of the most toughest races in the most toughest condition, the Brazilian Grand Prix. Now let's look at the championship for this year. The Constructors' Championship at this point, Red Bull doesn't seem like they are in contention for the title itself, but McLaren and Ferrari are still very much battling for that P1 in the Constructors' Championship, getting podiums and continuous victories as well. Now let's look at the Drivers' Championship. It's all eyes on Max Verstappen to see if he can clinch his fourth career victory, his fourth championship this season. There's a lot more coming on this channel. There's a lot more happening this season. 3 races to go. Stay tuned and thank you for watching.